Record. How's everybody doing? So we're halfway through. Thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing on this journey. I am going to go straight to share slides and move through maybe a slightly different start to this week. So this week, we're in week 3. And today we're going to be talking about the simple follow-up and the customer experience. We talked about the foundation, and we're going to touch back on that foundation today. Authentic inviting and sales. And so today we're going to talk about now they've joined. Now they've got the understanding of why these oils are different, and now they have them in their home. And you are the person who invited them on this journey. But the best part is that they're not on this, you and them are not on this journey alone. So to start this week, based on this slide, not this slide, this slide. Everybody knows this slide. So if you didn't see this slide in the main builders group, you would have seen it in your branch group, maybe a check-in on your branch group around this slide. Based on this slide, we would like to open the floor to a few, what shall we call them? Not testimonials, a few shares about what in the last 2 weeks went well for you. What did you try and it kind of sucked? It didn't work. It wasn't in alignment. It didn't bring a flow. Gonna try something different next time. So we're gonna use this. This is one of my favorite graphics. It's one of my favorite graphics because this is my doTERRA journey. You know, it's really easy when you have somebody sitting here in front of you having gone on the journey. It's so easy to look at that person and say, oh, it was easy for them. You know, it was much easier for them. They had X, Y, and Z for it to be easy. Guys, when I started, now I'm going to tell you one of those stories. We had to trudge through the snow to get home from school when I started. Guys, when I started, we didn't have essential oils, okay? Started doing an essential oils business with no oils. So know that that's how much I believed in these oils and what they would do for people's lives. But along that way, you know, I lost many, many clients. So I'm going to share my first failure. I lost many, many people by not following up. So that is the one place that I regret the most, because I would do a little sample blast out, like, do you want to try Smart and Sassy? Try it for 3 days, see how you feel. And then I'd be embarrassed to call them after 3 days and see how it went. And I remember arriving in October at the big doTERRA launch. And there was a woman who owns one of the most successful health wellness spaces in South Africa. And as she walked up, I went, she tried to get back in contact with me twice. And twice, I didn't return her call. And she's here because she's enrolled with somebody else, some other team, not mine. So I have many. In fact, I think I drew this graph myself. I have many, many, many in the failure box. But every time I failed forward. I said, let me go back. Let me watch a whole bunch more one-on-one classes and let me try it again. The best way to get great at teaching about the oils, be it a 101 or be it, is the more you teach, the better you get. The more you talk about it, the better you get. Can I have an amen from my people who've been around here a little longer and are teaching? Shake your head, Jill. Kush, yes. The more time you tell the story, the better you get. So every time you start telling the story and you're like, I don't know if I can do this, you got to do it that one more time to get better. The more times you can talk about why you chose these oils for your life, the better you'll get. So, see, I said we're going to share, and then I just talked and talked and talked. So now, anybody got a, this went really well this week, or a, I tried this and it didn't work? Because if you are sitting in the bottom two boxes, know that there are people here who may just be sitting in the top left-hand box, but it's the top left-hand box that gets you into the top right-hand. Okay, now a moment of silence for the shares, and like we cross the fingers and say, come on, somebody unmute yourself and let us know. A win or a fail? Let's celebrate both.
Dom, I've got a fail.
Oh, who's speaking? Let me see if I can just find you. Hold on.
Emma.
It's Emma.
Hi, Emma.
So when I first started this,
you put your video on?
Sorry, no. Let me put my video on. Okay, can you see me?
Yes, that will be good.
So hi everyone. So when I started this business, just like you, I was very nervous because I jumped into doing the business, fairly quickly after receiving my oils. I knew that it was something that I wanted to get into. I kind of my mentor Nix, I felt that it was something I could jump into because I knew very well that she had done all the back research and she had looked at everything to the nth degree. And if she was telling me it was a good thing to do, then it was a good thing to do. So I jumped in sort of head first. And I was very embarrassed reluctant to talk about the kind of the business side of it, approaching people about actually, this is what I do. It's a great opportunity and it could be a great opportunity for you. And I had been chatting to a couple of girls at my daughter's school, and this one particular girl was always interested, and she said, yes, I'll come to a talk. And I knew at the time that she was battling a little bit, financially. Anyway, she never came to the talk. And about 2 months later, I go onto her Facebook profile, and she has posted a thing about Young Living. She has now bought Young Living, and she is now doing Young Living as a business. And I just thought to myself, had I just had that conversation with her up front, because that is what she was after, if I just had the confidence to have that conversation with her up front, it could have been a very, very different sort of place where we were sitting now. And obviously I have matured, and I love what I do. I absolutely love these oils. I love the business. I love all of it. And so now I'm far more confident, because I know there might be somebody else out there who can benefit so much from this. And I always keep that in the back of my mind, in that this is such an amazing opportunity. And if you love the oils and this is your path, then absolutely I will talk to you about it with every single cell in my body and with my heart, because I've been on the back of that, and it broke my heart to see that whole thing play out when I saw her posting on Facebook. So it was just, seize the moment. We're not here to make decisions for people. All we can do is impart information onto others and let them choose their path. But they need to have the information to make an educated decision. And she didn't have the information because I was too scared to share with her. So that's just my fail.
Oh, thanks, Ems. And I love that one, because that is that thing where you say that's somebody in my community and we could have been running together,
Exactly.
That person, I'll just say this, there's still hope for that person.
There is still hope for that person.
If you joined another team, we would have lost hope, but we will send her love every time we think of her.
We will.
I'm just going through the comments, because I know some of you are also putting little ones to sleep and stuff like that. Oh, Coralie, I love this share. I have been in those shoes, and I think many people have been in those shoes. And well done for inviting 6 people. And next week, invite another 6. And next week, maybe even say to those 6, we've got more classes coming up. I know how mom life can get. And I know for you, in your situation, it's very easy for you to empathize with, after a really long day. Like, guys, I climb into bed with my son every single night, and I lay with him until he falls asleep. You can judge my mothering on another call, but I love it. And it's my time where I just snuggle in with him. Do you know how many times I've fallen asleep there? And then just woken up at like 2 a.m. and there I am fast asleep, because days are long and we are busy. And that could be where those 6 people were, and all snuggled up, and so keep inviting. Don't give up on those people. And congratulations, as like, well done, Jill says, because well done for inviting 6 people. I didn't invite 6 people this week to classes. I've been so busy with everything else I've been doing. I actually wrote in my diary a blocked out period of time, which we'll talk about today, just for inviting people to my class on Saturday. That's all I'm going to be doing, because I haven't invited anybody to anything this week. And so we'll talk more about that. Anybody else unmuting and talking? Wins or fails?
I had a little win.
Oh, hi. Win.
That's me, Orshi. Hi, I don't know most of you, sorry. My name is Osha. I just recently joined. My little win was with my 3-year-old. I've got a 3-year-old and an 8 and a 9. And the 8 and a 9 are totally sold on the oils. They love them. But a 3-year-old, who obviously takes after her sisters, comes home from kindy and she goes, "Mommy, I've got a little scrape on my foot. I got hurt at school. Can you put some rescue on it?"
She
knows her oils. That's it.
I love that. Yes. She knows what she's doing. Wonderful. You had some other wins this week. We can touch on that. I'm mentoring Oshi, so I know her other wins this week. Like enrolling your first client, that's a win. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody want to share? Okay, we're back at this screen. Take a screenshot if you need to. There's a lot to be said for the bravery, and the bravery comes from the failing. The strength comes from there. So we shall move on to. Nobody wants to see this slide again, Dom. Okay, so Tertia, remember when we talked about slides? This is your slide. I forgot to tell you.
Oh, cool. Okay, so this is one of my favorite ones, and it actually does follow up from the previous slide, because to get those wins, you actually do need to plan and schedule stuff in, because life does happen and we forget stuff. So actually having a schedule where you can plan out the amount of time that you are going to spend on what type of activities helps you build that discipline and the focus and attention when life gets busy. And one of the things that really works for me is that I slot it in, and sometimes life still happens. But then I know I owe myself that slot. So if you had a slot where you want to go do something, make sure you make time for somewhere else. The other benefit of having a schedule, of course, is that if anybody does come back to you after a one-on-one class or something, you do know that you've got certain time slots where you can actually do a one-on-one with them, or where you can schedule a welcome call or wellness consult with them. So having your schedule set out and having that time allocated to these activities is really important. And one of the things that it always so reminds me of is in the intro call, we always chat about you will get the return of what you invest. If you want to do it part-time, it's 4 to 5 hours. If you want to grow your business, it's more hours. So actually having a schedule that you've got planned out gives you an idea of what expectation you should have of yourself. So if you are only putting in 4 or 5 hours, that's the result that you would see. So it really helps you just to keep track of yourself and what time you've got allocated to do stuff. And then after a while, you get to know your schedule. And no matter where you are, you can say to somebody, how about Friday at 2 p.m.? Let's do a one-on-one. So it really becomes easy for you to respond to your clients without having to go check your schedule, etc. And of course, how you prepare for everything is going to set you up for success.
My favorite quote that goes along with that, I've said it in many builders trainings or wellness advocate trainings, is hope is not a strategy. I hope that I will find time this week to work on doTERRA. I hope that I don't book up 9 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. That 9 a.m. call, yes, we get a lot of information out in that call, and sometimes not enough information. We've got other calls planned, like trainings and stuff like that on your back office and things, because it's only an hour and we've got a lot of information to get across. But if you start coming to those Tuesday morning calls, making time in your schedule for them and blocking it out, there is something magical about bringing all of us together, about having 40-something women together, knowing that when you continue with the rest of the week, you're not alone. And even though you're doing your business, you're part of something bigger. And then you will fun info. Yeah.
There's another thing about scheduling as well. And I'm a morning person, Dom's a morning person, other people maybe have night brains. So scheduling your time planning your schedule in such a way that you've got the energy to do the toughest thing first when you've got the most energy actually gives you a very different start to your day. So if you do the first thing on your to-do list that you're really not looking forward to, that you find hard to, you do that first. The rest of your day can then just get better. So aligning what you do in the day with where your mindset is and where your energy is also a great way to make yourself more effective. So your schedule is not just about allocating time, it's about how do you allocate your energy to be effective in what you're doing.
Yeah. So we as founders or leaders often get the promo oils. You'll notice our visuals are always ready because we get insight. And we get that insight at midnight. And but we can't launch it till 9 a.m. the next morning. And some leaders will stay up at midnight and create their visuals. So they'll get the information at midnight. And I have a rule. I turn my phone off when I know, and I only look at it at 4 a.m. So I wake up at 4 a.m. on those days because my brain rocks at 4 a.m. It is dead at midnight. So it's not going to create cute visuals or have ideas then. Now, if I make a mistake and look at midnight, my brain will be up all night planning it, and then by 4 a.m. I'm crashed. So I have to be very strict about not looking at it ahead of time. I just want to see, there was just a comment there, so I just want to check.
What is CNF?
CNF. Oh, good. No, you're not. No, I haven't explained that. So nobody knows what it is. You're the only person who's asking what it is. Does anybody know what CNF is? My older friends here might know. CNF. Anybody? Let's see. Now, Coralie, if you didn't know if you thought everybody else knew what it was, they would all be right.
I think it's call and follow up.
Oh, who's that? I can't see that.
It's Patricia. Okay, sorry.
Brand new. Contact and follow up. Yes, you rocked it out, Patricia, before any of the, exact. So CNF is contact and follow up. So, when I was first starting out, I just made a rule for myself because I'm very much like, give me a goal and give me a, Coralie, I'm so glad you asked this question. We were about to move on. Everybody's sitting there going, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing in those pink blocks. But there sure as hell are a lot of them. So contact and follow-up is basically your sampling. It's that time where you contact a new person or make a connection. So connect and follow-up is also a great way to see CNF. And I made a rule for myself. And guys, if you are a like, give me some boundaries person, this rule rocked my world. Every single day, I need to contact 2 people and check in on 2 people. So that check-in could be on somebody who's already got oils, just checking that if they need me for anything, and then contacting 2 people or going through my list of like potentials. Is there anywhere that I needed to connect? So CNF is when you spend your time really making connections, you know, making that, remember that biggest sample is you. So that's your CNF time where I'm actually going to say, I'm going to spend time on my doTERRA business. Now, let me be very clear. When you're allocating time for your doTERRA business, watching YouTube videos of Ange doing her best face routine is Netflix. It's not business. It's fun. It's my favorite thing to do. I will like, when I brush my teeth at night, when Griffin's going to sleep, I'll have little YouTube videos going and I'll be like downloading the best tips ever. That's fun time. That's not business time. It's good business. It's good use of your fun time. But don't allocate time in your diary between 11 and 12 o'clock to sit and watch cool YouTube videos on blends you can make for doTERRA. It's not going to bring money into your life from a business perspective. It will bring good oils into your life, but not business. So any other questions on scheduling before we move on? Just if there's something that's on your mind about it. Otherwise, we will go to the next slide. The slides would work. The customer. Okay. Over to you.
Okay. So a customer journey is actually really important to understand, and every customer journey is not the same, and a customer's journey with every wellness advocate won't be the same. But what we've got here for you is the high level view of what a customer journey is. And a customer journey is really important because it's how they get from point A to point Z across the doTERRA experience, the experience that they have with you. It's very important for you to understand because each one of those blocks is an opportunity to deliver an experience, and we are in the experience business. So every one of those is an experience that you're going to have, an interaction with your client, and in each one of those there is something that you may want to send to the customer, share with the customer, etc. And so your customer journey is quite integral to your system, your business system that you are running. And then as you put your own flavor to it, you obviously create that experience that is unique to you and your identity and why your client has bought from you. So what we've got here is kind of the high level kind of average journey that we see that happens across our team. Different teams have different journeys. But last week we kind of discussed the sampling, the experiencing, the sharing, inviting somebody to a class, and etc. And really today what we're talking about is the enrolling somebody as a customer. What happens then? So you enroll them. It's that whole experience about sharing. How do they get their account activated? Sending them little steps on how to do it, or sitting with them and doing it. You need to be very conscious around how you make that experience a good one. Then, of course, once they've enrolled, you send them the PDF around how to get started because they've just enrolled, but they don't have anything yet. So sending them the PDF really gets them excited about getting going, and inviting them to the hub so they can start looking at what's going on there, and they know what oils they've ordered, so it gets them engaged and going. At the same time, obviously, what you want to do is we want to arrange your ready-to-roll kit or whatever that experience is that you give them to support them. And you also need to be aware of the fact that the oils are going to arrive, that Aramex is going to deliver that, because something could go wrong. So you want to kind of track that. We'll show you how you can track in your back office, but you can check in with your customer as well. So that's an important step to understand how do you enrich that experience. And then obviously once the oils arrive, you want to make sure that the client gets it out of their box and into their life. And that's really important as well. And then once they've now got their oils and it's all going, you are always available there for them to check in. So you need to tell them how do they get to you, and you need to have a schedule. Say, this customer got their oils about 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. I had a welcome call with them. When do I contact them next from my side, especially if they're quiet on your WhatsApp groups or you actually haven't heard anything from them. Don't assume that they are using the oils, and don't assume that they're not, but make sure that you do check in with them. And then, of course, all the monthly info that will come in the WhatsApp groups, the experience groups that you have. We have the connection through the hub. That's a constant experience that they've got, and even there, you can see which of your clients are participating and making comments, etc. And then, of course, we've got the continued education. So it's really important to understand, where does your client's experience with you begin, and where does it continue, so that you can actually be part of delivering and impacting that experience every step of the way.
Thanks. So, as Tertia said, high level here. So what we're doing for the rest of the call now is, because this is like, whoa, that's a lot, and maybe I don't even know what a ready to roll kit is. You should have got one yourself, so you should know what it is. And so we're going to take this little customer journey, and from the enrollment, now guys, that enrollment could also just come off that WhatsApp that you sent them after the class. Remember last week we talked about, hey, here are the different kits you can enroll with. Here's my link. Here's a step-by-step guide. Should you be ready to go ahead straight away, or send me questions? You will get an email from doTERRA. It will say, congratulations, so-and-so has enrolled with you as the wellness advocate. And then that's your go thing. That person's going to be in your back office, and you're going to see them on your back office, and you're going to know, right, hey, I'm so glad you managed to enroll. Here is the PDF for when your oils arrive, and I'm going to send your ready to roll. I'm going to get your ready to roll kit to you before they arrive. And then now the new thing, because we're launching it tomorrow, you would then send them an invite. You take their email address from their, you'll have their email address on their, blah, 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 on their welcome email from doTERRA. So you'd be able to immediately go, email address there, send it. Tertia, are we going to send to you? How are you?
Yeah, it's me.
And the email just automatically goes to them, welcome to the hub. But they got to know that that's going to come. It's actually going to be much easier to get new people into the hub than our existing clients who've just got used to not having the hub. It's not going to be a different education. It's going to be a normal thing. You get your PDF. Why? Because some people will never go to the hub. So make sure they've got that PDF and then their invite to the hub, and make sure they know to expect that invite. And so now the oils are coming. They've got their information. And now we're going to talk about, let's just touch on the ready to roll kit. You want to go there?
So the ready to roll kit is actually, for me, the most exciting bit. It's not when the client enrolls, it's not when they get the oil, it's when I can give them that ready to roll kit. Because that's where they start. If they, without that ready to roll kit, you can put in your diffuser, but it's not quite the same as being able to play with your little bottles and oils and stuff. And the feedback that I've had from clients has always been phenomenal when they get this ready to roll kit. It's not something that they expected. And it's often one of the first questions that people do ask is, once they sign up for they get the excitement of getting the kit and they're waiting for it. And then I get a message, where do I get roller bottles from? Like, don't worry, yours is on your way, you'll get started. And I put a little note in there, and they know they can go to Oil Up if they need more, but it's usually perfect to get going. We've also got 4 different ready to roll kits. So the deluxe, the standard, the beginners, and the mini. So that really also allows you to match the ready to roll kit to what it is that the client, your customer, wants to do and what they've bought up. So I typically do a standard or a deluxe for a client who's got the home essentials kit, maybe a standard or a beginners for a client with a family essentials. And maybe you've got that client who's just really started something small. Even the beginners kit, they may not want to make a lot of rollers, then maybe the mini or the beginners is good. So you can match it based on what they've bought and what you know your client's more likely to be using it for. So it really gives you that flexibility to get them going in the way that they need to get going as well. And especially, I think especially important for clients who buy the family essentials kit. I mean, they haven't bought a diffuser necessarily. So this is a great way to get them started.
Yeah. I want to one thing we didn't talk about is the genesis of this. So when I first decided to do this as a business, there was nobody doing this business in South Africa. So I literally was not even elite. And I was like, okay, we're going to do this as a business. And I listened to another leader. And when her people enrolled, she buys everybody an Essential Life's book. That's a, here in this country, I think it's an 800 Rand, 750 Rand book. She buys everybody an Essential Life book, along with these things. And I looked at that and I was like, oh, that's like triple what I'm making if I were to put that together. Like, I can't do that. But what I could do is I could source these little accessories and I could give them a little ready to roll. And in those days, we did all our classes in person. Here is my top tip. If you are meeting somebody, take your ready to roll kit with you. Do you know how I enrolled everybody? I put my little ready to roll kits out and I said, if anybody knows they're definitely getting a kit, take your ready to roll kit now. Oh, and they came to choose which bag they liked and which one had the best flowers, and off they went with their little bags, with their accessories. And when they got home and their husband said, "You're what?" They said, "But look, I've already got this ready to roll kit." And that excitement was there in their hands. And I can guarantee you, one of our biggest tools in our team, I think other teams are copying now, but I remember going on leadership calls. This is when they get the whole of South Africa together, when they first opened in South Africa, and going on leadership calls and all the leaders going, and we'd been doing this for years, months, way before doTERRA even opened in South Africa. And all the leaders going on saying, will doTERRA be bringing in glass bottles? All our clients have got these huge kits and they don't know what to do with them. And there were no essential oils accessories companies opened yet in South Africa. And there was our team, all sitting there going, but get the ready to roll kit. How? How are people not using their oils with roller bottles? And so I want you to know that this is a game changer. This is a differentiation. And yes, it costs us money. But guys, your clients can use oils when they arrive. They are more likely to have them out the box. When you call them and say to them, make this blend, get your roller that you have for free and make this blend, that is why our retention rate is so high. Because when our oils arrive, our people are ready to roll. So I'm giving you that genesis because this ready to roll kit, it's a choice. It's actually not part of doTERRA. It's got nothing to do with doTERRA, but it was a choice I made. And I said to the people who were with me in the beginning, Belinda, Olivia, Robin, these were all the people. I think there were 4 of us in the beginning on those calls. I said, I'm going to do this. Do you guys want to do it too? And I bought enough bottles that we could all share. We didn't have an oil up. And everybody said, yeah, Dom, we're going to do that with you. And then anybody who came on board, we said, we do this. Do you want to do it? And now it's got to the stage where we're like, this is what you do, because we tried and tested it and it's so good and it really works. But I want to remind you, this is a choice. It's just a choice that was a game changer in our businesses, because this is service. This is looking after people, because telling people oils are great and getting them to buy them, this is the gift that we give them, that our team.
And then add on to that, what we're doing with the hub is we are replacing having the Essential Life book. Okay, yes. At 750 Rand when I bought mine, and I've probably spent thousands of rands on oil books over the years. And I want to tell you that very soon we will have more information on the hub than what you can actually get in your essential oil book.
Yeah. So now we have our Essential Life book, which is the invite to the hub, where they can use that search bar. Guys, play in that hub. You will get to know that we're adding things daily. Do you know that what we love on your branch groups? Hey guys, I went to the hub and I couldn't find anything on this. First of all, I'll go and check on you, make sure that it is there and you were using the search bar, and then we'll add it, guys. We'll add it as quickly as we can. You know, somebody asked the other day, I can't find anything on this. The next day I was just there loading it on. It takes it's quick, we can do it. Okay, so, but also bear with us. We're just humans. Okay, so everybody good on the ready to roll? No questions on the ready to roll? You can ask a question if you've got one. Okay. So I'm going to talk about the wellness consult. And now I'm using the word wellness consult because on doTERRA land, it's called a wellness consult. But I really want you guys to take the sentence wellness consult and get it out your brain. Because when you first hear the word wellness consult, it was like, I'm not qualified to do a wellness consult. Let me tell you something Tertia wrote to me today. It was like an Oprah moment. That's what I need to convey. We are not wellness coaches. We are wellness advocates. Okay. You are not your new person's new wellness coach. If you would like to be a wellness health coach, naturopath, any of that, amazing. Go study, do that, put it next to your name, slash it with your wellness advocate. But when you do doTERRA, you are advocating for somebody else's wellness. You're saying, I like these oils. They make me feel good. Can I share with you what makes me feel good? You are advocating for wellness. And when you take all that pressure off yourself to be, the best, know the most, do all the courses, you are going to be able to just be authentic. Dom, mom of a 6-year-old, love my oils. I've never done an essential oil certification or anything, okay? So I just love to learn how to use oils, and I love when people ask me hard questions, because then I go and look it up, and then I learn, and then I tell them, and then we both learn, and then they try it out, and they tell me how it went, and then I use that information for somebody else. It's as simple as that. And I think I needed to preface this section with, you are advocates for wellness. You're not their new doctor. You're not their new health coach. You do not need to fix their lives. That's not your job. But your job is to look after yourself, empower your own health, and then help other people feel empowered in their health. It belongs to them. Okay, so now that we've got that out the way, and you do not need to be an essential oils expert to do hey, I'm so glad you've got your oils. Let's make sure they're out the box and in your life. That's what this call is. It's basically a welcome call. You're going to take your PDF, the one that you send them. My oils have arrived. And in your first wellness welcomes, you are going to talk them through it. You're going to literally start at the top, and you're going to say, just want to check, you know about the safety things. The safety things are citrus oils are photosensitive. We live in South Africa. Please make sure you're not spritzing yourself with lemon and then going to the beach. It's as simple as that. So we don't put oils in our eyes, up our nose, and in our ears. The first thing somebody wants to do is take a nebulizer and put oils in to open the airways. We don't put them down those neti pots. We don't put oils up our nose and ours and in it. So do you see, I'm not going to talk you through it, but it's that simple, and you don't need to, you just can read it and just say, I just want to make sure you check this health things. You might say that to someone, they're like, I checked the safety things, I'm good. And then you're just going to say, there's your dilution chart. So as long as you're staying within those dilutions for your kids and for your older people, you actually can use a lot of your own intuition, and you've got me to call on if you need to make something up. And then you're going to say, you've got to take every bottle out your box, crack the lid and smell it. That's the simplest first step. Open the bottles and smell them. Your body wants to understand them, and then put them where they belong. So in the beginning, lemon belongs next to your water filter, your glass next to where your glasses are. However you drink water, that's where your citrus needs to live. Your frankincense, are you going to do frankincense in your moisturizer like I do? Do you want to try it? Keep it in your bathroom next to your moisturizer. You're going to set up your diffuser. Where's your diffuser going to be? What 2 oils are you going to choose this week that are going to sit next to your diffuser? Okay, these are all proactive health. A diffuser on, lemon in your water, frankincense in your cream. These are your proactive health things. Now let's talk about maybe 2, 3, 4 areas of your family that are really the areas you want to address first from a health perspective. Oh, your family gets allergies, everybody's sneezing, let's address allergies, okay? Do you know how many wellness consults in the beginning, guys, I went to, and someone said, I have this issue. And I said, I don't know which is the best blend. I'm going to come back to you on that one. And I made a little note, and off I went. And now that doesn't happen as often. Why? Because there's only X amount of issues, like this many in the beginning. And it's like this, tummy. Yes, tummy, sleep, immunity, and tummy, sleep, immunity, weight loss, allergies, snoring, asthma, breathing, all breathing things. Those are pretty much it in a nutshell. Hot flashes. I get a lot of hormonal. I'm 44, so my friends are all going there. Lavender and peppermint, hot flashes. And then we say, just so you know, we also have Clary Calm. It's really great for those hormonal challenges. So now, when you're ready, we're not trying to sell them, we plant the seed. When you're ready, we have something that specifically addresses that. But your lavender and peppermint are going to be such a great relief to get started with. Calm, lavender, peppermint, frankincense. It's an amazing blend for anybody. It can be used for hot flashes. It's got that mint in it. So it's that kind of thing, okay? And you can call on your branch groups. You can call on your mentors to help you in that beginning. The biggest trust, the biggest bond you make with someone is when you say, hey, I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to find that out for you, and I can't wait. Because when I find it out for you, I'm going to learn it for myself too. And that builds trust. It builds so much more trust than I'm going to wing it and just like rub Zengest on your big toe. Try it out. Tell me how it goes. You see? Don't be nervous to say, I don't know the answer. I would love to find it out for you and for me, you know? Because we're just advocating for wellness. We're not your new doctor. It's humility, you know? It's nice to feel like you know it all, but you don't, and neither do I, and this is how we learn. Plant the seed for LRP. When you are ready to buy oils, know that there is a way that we buy them and earn points. I learned this the hard way. I learned this from clients who I saw, oh my gosh, they've been buying oils consistently for 3 months, over 50 PV, and I never told them about LRP because I didn't want them to think I was trying to sell them into a system. And then I contacted them and they went, but what about the points from all my other orders? And then I felt bad. But if I'd said to them, hey, if you notice, if you do, that you're starting to order consistently, make sure you chat to me about the loyalty program. We also use the monthly promotions and all that to just hint at the loyalty program so that they know to ask that question too. So that sentence, be careful not to be too careful, is about that. I am hugely against not trying to sell people anything, especially in a wellness welcome. But also don't be too careful. Okay, so plant seeds of, you know, in 3 months' time, when your peppermint runs out, we can talk about Clary Calm. If your hormones are really bothering you, know that this exists. No trying to sell you. Do you know how many people go, no, my hormone's really bad. Can I buy it now? That's their choice, but I didn't sell it to them. I just made sure they knew about it so they could choose it. Okay. If somebody has essential oils, some of my new builders here will attest to this. If somebody has essential oils, they're going to start telling their friends because they're that effective. And so you need to plant a seed that once you start loving them, if you do have any friends that want them, know that I will help you help them kind of vibe. You know, I don't use, it's a very, I'm not asking you to ask every person. Every other team, let me tell you it this way, every other team announces the business side of doTERRA in their introductory classes. I've contemplated this many times before. Are we robbing people of the opportunity of doing doTERRA as a business by not saying at the end of our Tuesday community classes, and just so you know, if ever you're interested in the business, you can stay on after this, after everybody else goes, and we can chat about it. Should we be doing that? I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. What I do know is we've got a pretty big team with amazing new people coming on to build, and we've never done it before because we lead with the oils. If you don't love your oils, I don't really know how to talk to you about building this as a business. So I've always led with the oils and let the oils bring the builders. But as Emma shared today, there comes a time where it's a very fine line between saying to people, there is a business opportunity and you are welcome to join us. Sometimes people want to feel like they're welcome to join us, to ask the questions, to get in on the good stuff that we are loving. They don't know that that door is open. So that's kind of what I'm trying to say. There's actually no correct way to say it. There's no correct way to say, would you like to do this with me? You know, you kind of want to send out that energy of, hey, anytime you want to hop on this train, there is a space, a seat next to me. You know, that's kind of what you want to say in the right way for the right person. Done a lot of talking. Checking if there are any questions. Oh, good. I don't know which part you're referring to, but I'm glad you liked it. I have non-stop talk. Thanks, Davita. Okay, so any questions, guys, before we move on? We're doing great for time, but we want to make sure we get through to our last slide as well. Does everybody feel a little bit, just if you can nod your head if I can see you, do you feel a little bit more comfortable about the wellness welcome? It can feel like a very intimidating thing, and people have often called me and they're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a wellness consult. You're a wellness advocate. You're doing a welcome to your box. Let's get them out the box and into your life. And they just want to be guided in that place. And that's all it is. Like, one of the most important, in fact, this is the end part of our class. Every household in a global pandemic needs to have a flute roller made. Okay? So if you are speaking to someone and they say, I don't have a flute roller, that's one roller that every household should have made. Why? Because a flute roller is frankincense, lemon, oregano, on guard, tea tree. And fevers, sore throats, especially fevers in children, arrive in the middle of the night. And do you know what mom doesn't reach for in the middle of the night? A whole bunch of tiny little bottles that she's going to drip food drops into a tiny fill. She's not doing that in the middle of the night. She's just getting a fever buster called, I don't know, I'm not going to say any medical names, and she's just putting that in her child's mouth. And I'm okay with every mom doing that in the middle of the night. But put the flute roller down the spine and on the feet, because it's the flute roller that's going to support that immune system. And when people understand that and they start doing it, they start to reach for that flute roller before that. And they can still reach for anything else they want. But if it's made, it will make a difference to their family. You know, I've got a little bit of a sore throat at the moment. So flute before this call, roller next to my bed, on my feet, rub it up and down my spine before I go to bed. It's ready made. I don't have to think like, I've got a sore throat, I've taught late, I'm not going to right now. That makes sense.
Dom, that's actually a good point or good conversation to have with the clients at that wellness welcome as well, is the concept of an oil station. I mean, I was in love with my oils. My oils were always with me. But even for me, when I started having my oils at my tap, in my bathroom, next to my bed, your usage of the oils actually just increases because it's there. Remember, we spoke about changing your mindset to go to oils first. Having your oil stations, having your little rollers ready and done just makes it easier to get into that mindset of, hang on, let me try this first. So having that concept of having the rollers, etc., is really important to discuss with customers.
And that's why we do the ready to oil kit. Okay, stations. Yeah, love stations. Okay, so last page. When do you get in touch? So we wanted to talk about delivery issues, and I'm going to tell you a little secret. So Tertia was actually doing this, but I'm going to just take this first one and say, we went through a stage, some of you may remember, one of those back in the snow days, where doTERRA, Aramax, stroke everything was a mess, okay? It just was a mess. It's just a fact. Our deliveries were getting lost, and most importantly, they were taking 12 days to get to people. And I literally, and those of you who were there, I would not let it rest. I fought with Aramax, not doTERRA, because Aramax were basically bullshitting doTERRA. That's the bottom line. And I fought and I said, you know, I have a company, I use a career company, and we've got to do better. Sorry, my clients are spending a lot of money. We've got to do better. It exists. It's not like, oh, it's Africa. This is how it is. So in that discussion, doTERRA issued this email address, no doTERRA. Aramax and doTERRA made a decision to have an individual who all day just deals with our deliveries, doTERRA deliveries, right? We're going to have this in the hub. It exists. Write it down if you need to. So the email address here. If you have an issue, now don't abuse it. If you have an issue, if you have a client, if you have an order that's outside of a perimeter, it's a 4 working day perimeter, okay, in Johannesburg. If you have a client in that, outside of that bracket, you can write a simple email that says, hello, order number, and you can just use the doTERRA order number. You don't need a shipping number, doTERRA order number. Please, can you give me an update if there are any issues on this order? And they would be able to tell you, I haven't received it from the doTERRA warehouse, or yes, it's out for delivery at this, here's the stage that it's at. Now, the reason I'm sharing that with you is because this is good customer service to me, that I have the surety that I have somebody to talk to. And the reason I'm saying that is because of this. Don't phone Aramax. Don't phone some random customer service person that takes 30 minutes to get through on the phone. And this is why we have this email address. And this email address is very reactive if we don't abuse it. A. B, because we organized it, none of the other teams really know about it. So only our team is using it at the moment. Let's just keep it that way. So I don't advertise it to anybody. I just use it. If you're unsure whether it's time to use this email address, just ask your mentor, ask on your branch group. Hey guys, my client hasn't had an order for this long. Do you think and then your upline, one of the other leaders on your group will say, hey, pop an email. It's the time. The time is right to pop an email. So that question often comes up on branch. I'm feeling like my client's been waiting a long time. Help. Pop an email. So this email address, they literally are answering in half an hour. But don't abuse it. Please don't be impatient and then send an email. That's the one thing. The other thing is there is a Aramax app for your own orders. Now, if you get the Aramax app, here's how it works. Free, obviously. B, once you sign into the app, you never have to put your order numbers in. You don't ever have to do any kind of addition to the app. The app works in conjunction with your email address. So as soon as a parcel is on its way to you, or in the Aramax, even just in the Aramax facility, you could go on and see, look, it's in the facility. Oh, look, now it's on a truck. Oh, look, here's where it's coming. So the reason I want all of you to have that app is because if you have a client that calls you every week and says, I don't know if my order is going to come, like I'm still waiting for my order, you can get them to have the app and they can just at least look, oh, look, there it is. It's arrived at Aramax. Now I know it's on the truck. That might be really nice for some clients who want to know where their orders are.
And so, I want to add on to it because I think, somebody want to ask a question. Okay. So the one is for your client that is now continually ordering. One of those customer journey steps, one of those experiences you want to deliver, and it's a follow-up that you can schedule in your weekly schedule, is for all the new clients that have enrolled. You get the doTERRA email telling you you've got a new client. in your schedule, go jot in there, check up on the delivery. You give it a day or two, and you can go into your back office and get their order number and check that it is showing up on the Aramex website. So we've got a bit of a cheat sheet around how you do that. But that's just another way for you, especially that very first experience, to make sure that it's on its way. And it's also great when you say when you can then contact your customer and say, I checked, your order is going to be with you in the next 48 hours because it's actually with Aramex. The other thing to know is what happens if you go and check and it's not with Aramex. That's when you also come back to your mentor, and we actually address that with doTERRA, because there is a handover from doTERRA to Aramex. So just remember that for that first client, make sure that you actually follow up proactively and you just ensure that they get that best experience. Also, it's a bit of a reminder for you to make sure you get your ready to roll kit to them quite quickly, etc. as well. So that's just another way that you can make that experience slightly more special.
Yeah. And there's a few, they're still working with Aramex. So I just want to talk a last thing about it is they're looking to add another courier company so that people can choose courier company 1 or 2. There'll be a 25 Rand difference in the 2 courier company. I'm not telling you who the other one is yet. That's 1 and 2. Then there's going to be a third option as soon as Marchish. So that's why I'm teaching it to you guys. First to know, guys, it's going to be a third option, and that's called Will Call. Now, Will Call is going to be at Eagle Canyon in Johannesburg. And if you click Will Call, you can go to Will Call in Eagle Canyon and just get your oils, and you don't pay delivery fees. And you get to hang out in the experience center with all the oils and how they smell like, and try out new things that you might not have bought. And
take a video of yourself and send it to Dharma, and Dharma make her really, really jealous.
And wish she hadn't gone to the beach. I'll be at the beach going, I wish I was there. No. But I'll come visit. Don't you worry. So we as wellness advocates can also ask to use your upline can ask, well, when you're your upline as well, you can ask to use the little meeting center there and have a whole bunch of clients there. So that's the new doTERRA office. We've been waiting for it, delayed a year with a pandemic, but that is imminent. They've been sending us pictures of what it looks like, and you guys will have an option, your clients in Johannesburg will have an option to collect oils they call it Will Call. Okay, so at the Will Call, you click it, you pay no delivery, you can go and collect your oils. It's going to be really helpful every now and again when you have a desperate oil situation. And somebody can just go collect there. Yeah. So I wanted to let you guys know about that. And
then of course, I mean, once the client's got their oils, then there are a certain amount of frequency that you want to have in your contacts. You want to make sure that your customers get to know what's going on. So definitely at the beginning of the month, we get some new promotions, etc. You might want to share that with them on WhatsApp, or refer them to the hub for the latest specials and promotions, etc. I mean, they will get an email from doTERRA, but it's just a nice reminder. I always get it from Dom way before I check my email. And then sometimes, some people don't like a busy WhatsApp group, so they might not want to use your WhatsApp group, but then you can still check in with them quite regularly, and the hub will probably be a very good place for them to go. And then one of the other really good things about both the hub, but also about your WhatsApps, is encouraging your customers to share what they have experienced, because sometimes you're not comfortable asking in a big group, or you think that you don't know and you're going to look like you don't know anything. But actually, it's amazing that when you start sharing your experiences, it kind of inspires people to ask something else or to try that for themselves. So that's a big part of the community that we want to encourage. And we want our customers to feel confident and comfortable with asking and sharing, and we all learn. That's, we must not forget that really is what they actually are buying, is that community. So, there's 3 main ways that we connect. WhatsApp is the one, our Facebook page is the other, and then Yum Drops hubs. And it's quite important to get your customer into one of those or all three of them, because it becomes really hard if you've got a customer say, well, I don't really like WhatsApp and I don't really going on the internet. It becomes hard because it means that you have to put in extra effort just for that person. And remember, when this business grows, you want to have it easy to disseminate information, easy to update clients. You don't want to forget a client. So those are the three ideal places for them to go. And then I'm convinced that between those three, they're going to find something that really fits with their lifestyle and the way that they want to interact electronically.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because, you know, a lot of people say to me, once we have the hub, are we going to close down our experience groups? And the reality is that people will not go and log onto a website, that we need to still be able to get into their life, whether they like it or not. Because the amount of times that you send a WhatsApp and people are like, I knew that's something I wanted. Or, you know, we talk about a new oil that's just been released, adaptive, elevation, something like that. And they go, wow, there's an oil that can address those things. I don't have those things, but maybe there's an oil that can address some things that I do have. And it expands their understanding, whether it's the oil they need or whether it's just helping them to understand, oh, this isn't just for when my child is sick, that there might be something that could help me, you know? And that's what's important about that. And then the testimonials and sharing. We encourage community with testimonials and sharing by giving testimonials and sharing. So, you know, one of my favorite yoga teachers always said patience. The biggest gift, the reward you get for patience is patience. And so it's the same thing. Like, if we want to create community, we have to be the community. So, have you all gone to the Facebook page and said hello? That was one of our first community commitments we decided. We said we want to introduce ourselves. We want to say, hey, I see you, you know, welcome to our community. We have a new little space, topic in the space of Yum Drops Hub. I'm going to get all this lingo so down. So a topic in our Yum Drops space, not in our biz space, is testimonials and sharing. And and the beauty of the hub is in testimonials, the testimonials, the sharing, you can comment, you can say, wow, that worked. What made you add that oil? And it can become even a education space within experiences. I had two strat calls today and one other call. And on every one of them, those people shared experiences. My kid had this at school. I shared the experience that my kid got a green snotty nose on Friday. He's 6 years old, he's been using oil since he was born. 6 beadlets 3 times a day, Saturday and Sunday, as well as flute, spine, and feet. And Sunday night, the snot was already clear, and Monday morning, no snot. And I have been using these oils for so many years, and I was also like, Charlie, did you see that? Did you remember that snot that was coming up? Can you see now what we're dealing with? And I got excited because I was even surprised because I haven't seen snot for 2020. So it was a new experience again to see snot.
And tonight, Dom's homework is to go put her green snot story in the hub so that somebody else can go into that topic and search green snot. And then a story and what she did will actually become available for them to try.
You know, and it's this that creates that, like, okay, I'm going to do that. You know those beadlets? I also have a 5-year-old, and I have a fussy 5-year-old. He will never let me spray On Guard in his mouth. He finds it the spiciest, most crazy taste he's ever had. It doesn't go anywhere near his mouth. But I know those tiny little beadlets are going to do him the world of good. Real nip it in the butt stuff. Did you hear that, Emma? Nip it in the butt. Okay. I am going to stop sharing now and leave the last few minutes for questions. Guys, it's already 8:30, so if you have to run, you can go and get the recording in the hub and listen to the questions. If you're here and you want to hang with us for a couple of minutes and ask some questions, unmute yourself, get on there. If you need to go, we love you, goodbye. Last week's our final call, so if you've got questions, it's time to start asking them. And you can ask questions in the hub as well on these topics. Any questions? You can type them in the chat, you can unmute yourself. Does anything come up that you're a bit like, I'm not sure? Thought I would just show. Oh no, I sent them to Charlie. Anybody? No? Okay, fine. We'll go then. We'll miss you. Okay, guys, ask questions on your branch groups to your smaller groups if you have them. Next week we are, next week's a big one. Wish us luck now. Compensation and future planning. We all live in a tree, okay? It's not a pyramid, it's a tree, okay? So we all live in a tree, and that tree has a shape. And based on that shape comes our compensation. And so we want to make sure, and we're not going to be able to tell you everything in an hour, but we want to make sure that the seed is planted, that you know there's a shape. And I'm very passionate about talking about shapes because my shape was flat top. Basically had a beach and not a tree.
You've got one of those Cape Town trees that are flat, Dom.
I had that. I've fixed it since, but it's really important that we have that call, and that we have that seed planting about the shape, because the flat line is great to a certain point, and then it's got no oomph. So let's make sure we all know the oomph we're looking for. Bye, guys. Have a wonderful
Bye. Thank you.
And then Saturday, come to Saturday's class, bring people to Saturday's class. We chucked it in there. We're going to be introducing more Saturday 9:30s because people want to have that weeknight and early morning. I'm going to keep it to 45 minutes because it's Saturday. We want to go to the beach. So I want to make it tight. We're going to talk about, you got to enroll today or tomorrow, or you're going to miss that adaptive for free. Okay, don't miss adaptive for free. So it's going to be 45 minutes. It's going to be cute and tight, and it's going to be Saturday. So bring your friends. Remember when Coralie invited 6 people? Be Coralie, even if you fail. We love you, Coralie. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.